It's Harrison from Desert Tines Outdoors. So I thought I would do a little bit of a knife review today. Knife review I'm doing is on Matt Carricker, as you guys probably know him, Demolition Ranch, and also Lunkers TV, Rob Turkla. Robert Turkla? Is it Rob? It's Rob Turkla. Basically, they bought themselves a knife company, a little something called Skif Knives. This is the one that I thought I would enjoy the most, the Demolition Ranch knife. Basically, I really only have one complaint about it. I'm a pretty big knife guy. I do a lot of outdoorsy stuff. I usually like lighter weight knives, but obviously they made this to be a heavy duty knife. But basically, I mean, it comes in at a pretty stout weight. I think my only complaints I really have to say about it, the timing is decent. It was sharp when I got it out of the box. It was shaving hairs, as you can see from my missing parts of my beard. I really like this finger choil right here. It really helps kind of lock in the knife when I go to grab it. One other thing I'd like to address is this kind of little thumb ramp. So when I go into a reverse grip, my finger choil is held up right there. I've got my thumb on the back end, so if I need to go for a stabbing motion, again, that's probably worst case scenario, I have a decent little ramp for it. I do like the fact that on their pivot, they use a flathead screwdriver. You don't really see that on a lot of knives though. That's all torque keys. I like that because when I'm out in the field, it makes it a lot easier for me to work on my knife if I need to. So I've been carrying this one all morning. I'm out here in central Arizona chasing deer. So I've had a little bit of time to carry the knife. I carried it for the last couple days since I got it in. Shipping was relatively quick. Oh yeah, it's sharp. Promise that. But I guess the only real complaint I have on it is the detent. When I got the knife, the blade centering was about perfect. The only complaint I had was I needed to adjust it in order to get it to work. Because I don't know if you guys can see, it's got a relatively good detent to it. I can only really flip that knife out if I get a good grip. When I first had the knife, I mean, it rubbed my finger raw. Just trying to open and close it. I had to bring it down as close as I could without getting it to touch the liners. Which that was honestly pretty disappointing. I couldn't find anywhere where it said what kind of bushings or if it was nylon, but looking at it, I can see what looks to be phosphorus bronze bushings, which usually tends to lead towards a nicer pivot. But I don't know if there was just something with my knife or not. I haven't contacted them at all. I'm gonna probably try to do that, but honestly, I've just been opening and closing it, just trying to see if it's gonna maybe get any better. So far, I haven't noticed that, but I will say that just quality of the knife looks really well. It's a pretty knife. I like the big G10 on one side, the big slab of steel on the other. I don't really have a lot of complaints about the clip, even though I saw a lot of other guys had complaints about clips. I kind of like to compare it to the Spyderco Mannix. It has a deep carry clip, but you still get a relatively decent amount of knife showing, which is in contrary to the lanyard hole. So if they decide they want to do a lanyard hole, they have to keep that in order to basically have a lanyard on the knife, which isn't something I usually run, but it is something that's there for most people. You can attach paracord to it, so if you're in a survival situation like I am, if you need to get out quick and this is the only knife you've got, I mean, it's a heavy duty knife. I bet you it's going to last. Since I've had it, I haven't noticed any play in the blade, any angles. There's a little bit of play down here towards the bottom, but I've got nothing when it's strong. The jimping is actual usable jimping, which is something you don't see on a lot of knives much anymore. It really captures the finger, so if I need to do work, it's there. I do have a very delicate tip. It's a relatively thin blade, even though for it being a little stocky, which I think most of that comes from the handle. But so far, I've enjoyed it. I got serial number 93, if I remember right. Yeah, so really have nothing but good things to say about it, other than just the fact that I'm a nitpicky on the detent, and the detent for me is strong. Yeah, I really got to dig in there to get it out, or I got to loosen it up. Makes it kind of tough for me. I mean, I'd recommend it to friends who want just a heavy duty folder, but if you want something that's nice and smooth, I don't know if maybe they just need some time in the works to kind of get them going. I love the knife so far. I've got nothing but bad. If I have anything that comes up in the future, I'll put an edit down in the description. But so far, I'm enjoying the crap out of it. So I'll give you guys one last good look at it. So there's our lanyard hole. We got normal Torx keys, pretty back spacers. You can see that jimping. That jimping works, digs in pretty well. You can see our pivots. We've got that beautiful Demolition Ranch Eagle on a nice stonewash finish, the ATR 13 MOV. You see that on a lot of cheaper knives. I get it. When they first put out the prices, they were rough. I'll definitely agree with that. But again, they don't, I don't know how much time and research they did on that, but it seems like the second you guys brought it up, it was done. Which, good on them for doing that. But so far, I enjoy the knife. I just wish the detent was smoother and it just wasn't as rough. $45, I think, unless it's just the knife I have, I think might be still a little bit high for me, just because if I could go out and buy a steel wheel cut jack, Phosphorus bronze bushings, I've got jimping that works, I've got a finger choil, locks me in, I can use it as a tactile folder if I need to, and that comes in at about 35 to about 42 bucks. And I'm paying $45 for this knife. This is a lot heavier duty of a knife, I'll give it that. Frame lock, good timing, but that detent just bugs the crap out of me. So I hope you guys take that into consideration. Hope you guys do give it a shot. I'm going to try to order one of the flippers soon and see if maybe those also have a detent problem. But I don't know how many reviews I've seen since I posted this. I haven't really seen anything much out there. But, well, I hope you guys all have a good day. All right, and I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.